So hi and welcome to the short tutorial video of the photon controller from IGNIS. So here in the top bar you will find the several important buttons. You can open and edit any saved project in the format of IPO. And when it comes to saving, you're doing it basically in the same way. And here you can also freely edit the name of your project anytime. And when it comes to exporting file, format will change to PLX, what means that the file is not editable anymore and it has fixed setup of resolution, rendering speed, timeline, etc. And under this help button, we will find program instruction including video or shortcuts, downloadable PDF, an explanation of programs, features in the details. In the top bar you can also find undo and redo buttons, which will help you to move back and forth in your edit. And now let's have a look at importing image. You can do it easily by drag and drop. You can see preview straight away, and here in the left corner you can switch between 3 different preview layouts. And here in the bottom you can add or delete multiple timelines. What is really important to say as well is that the timeline section is also freely resizable by itself, so you can see all of your timelines, and in the case that you have a lot of them, you can also scale them this way. Now let me add 2 more timelines so I can show you how the different preview layout works. So let's copy them into all of our timelines. And as you can see, first 4 timelines are already visible in the horizontal preview. 4 timelines are the maximum number for this type of preview. The same maximum works for a grid preview, so you can see here. And in the third preview, you actually don't have any limitations of timelines. So as much timelines you apply, that much you will see. So let's delete them. And now let me show you how you can also set up the different previews for a specific image. In this left bottom corner you can see 4 another options of image movement preview. Now it's on circle 1, vertical 1, or horizontal 1, and by the changing line frequency parameter you can see how the image is changing constantly. Fourth one, it's mainly used for the LED stuff. By using a mouse scroll you can also zoom in and out on the preview, and in the horizontal layout you can move by drawing a screen from a side based on your needs. It's really important to know that you need to have selected picture to be able to set up its movement preview, but you can also set up default preview for the whole timeline. That means that any picture you add into that specific timeline will be displayed in the same way. So as you can see in the picture I'm adding in the timeline will be now displayed in the same way. Here is another one. Unless I'm changing the default preview movement again to the 4th option. Then after that, anytime I'm adding in a different picture, let's take this one, you can see that preview is changing. Here you can also really nicely play with the mirroring effect, which will help you to accomplish effect you desire. So in this section you have the setup of selected timeline. In my case it's the first one. Here you can set up the number of the pixels, which can be added manually or taken from the preset one. And every change can be instantly seen on the preview as well. Then you can also choose what will happen after the program ends. And here in the 3rd section you can actually edit properties of selected image on your timeline. For example, how big space will be between each rendered picture, and you can see changes instantly. But let's take another picture so you can see it even better. And here you go. You can also turn on the accelerometer, so rendering speed will be customized automatically by your move, And then you can set how many pictures will be actually in the circle. And here below you can change the brightness. And when you will turn off the accelerometer, rendering speed will be the same, no matter how fast you spin. And now let's have a look at the fit and count. Here you can set up how many times picture will be displayed from the start till the end. This is really useful tool for making special effects with devices like this. And here you can see that the fit and count changed the line frequency, and if I'm changing line frequency up, it will make this. Now let's try to take another picture so we can see more examples. And let me show you on those pictures as well. Let's try to apply them like this. Now you can see that preview was changed. But let's set it to 1. And now you can see how it would work. So just one at a time. And try out this mirroring effect as well. This is the effect which will create the reflection of your image. This is really great tool for stuff preview. So let's take another picture so you can see it much better. And if I'm turning on the mirroring, you can see the reflection. So let's take another picture so you can see it better. Let's turn on the mirror. So here's how it looks like. Below the mirror there is a rotate as well. This button changes side of the mirrored picture, so bottom image will be from another side than before. Here you can see it much better on this preview, the horizontal one. So this is off and on. So yeah guys, have fun with the effect, try out everything you can. There is plenty of options you can actually try. Now let's have a look at the export. So here in the bottom you click on the one which you want to export. You can also do it here in the top and choose between the timelines you wanna export. Then you're choosing the device, and here in the top you're changing the name. And then just export to device. What you can do after is sorting them, deleting them, changing their order. The order is determined by the prefix, but you can change that. So now let's have a look at the exporting image and audio inside. So here's actually two ways how you can import the image. You can either select it, click and drag in the timeline. Of course you can resize them afterwards. Or there is another way when you can just drag and drop like this. When you do it by the click and drag, you can of course do it multiple times after each other, exactly like this, wherever you want to on the timeline. You just need to have it selected and then just drag. You are also able to drag and resize the picture over each other. You just need to have it selected and then you can resize. Another really nice things to know is that you can actually copy part of the timeline with the same settings of the image. By the Ctrl+C, here in the top you can see how many image you selected, and then just simply click Ctrl+Shift+V and copy to the same position of the other timelines. You can also drag the cursor anywhere else in the timeline, and then you can click Ctrl+V and the image will be placed behind the timeline cursor. And when it comes to audio, it's basically the same as with the image. You can just drag and drop like this. Everything is basically intuitive as on a common audio or video editor. Just simply drag and drop. And don't forget that you can also change sizes of the timeline. You can switch between 4 different sizes of the timeline. Zoom in and out. But the best practice is, of course, optimize the size according to the first and last image, so you can see everything. And by the click and drag, you can also move anywhere in the timeline and move with it. You can also move with the cursor. That means that whatever is behind the cursor, you will see as a live preview. And this small arrow indicates also if the timeline must to go with the cursor or not. So for example, now it's clicked on. So that means when cursor will be going in the end, the timeline will move with the cursor. So now let's try to switch it off and let's see what will happen. So now you can see that the cursor is going away and we cannot see it anymore. Another really good thing to know is that you can select multiple pictures in the one timeline and then move them at once. So let's see here, exactly like this. So just mark them and then move. And now let's go back to the audio. The audio timeline works absolutely the same as the image timeline. You can also move with it whenever, and you can also go to negative value. That will help you to move when you, for example, you want to start with the beat. So you can go to the negative value and start on the beat. So now you can move with that in the beginning. Let's just zoom a little bit more in so we can see it more clearly. And here we go. And for the best result, try to move images by the audio beat for the best effects of your device. So that's all, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope it helped you. And don't hesitate to write us if you would like to see more videos.